Mhm.
All right, good evening, everybody. We will go ahead and get our meeting started. Do we have any public comment?
Not
No?
yet. And Pat, as you're joining us, I will just remind you that this is being recorded.
Okay. All right, so do we approve the minutes from last month?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's good?
I looked at them. I thought they were good. I do have the ability to throw any of the documents that we're talking about up on the screen.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good because I can only access them if I kind of minimize, then go in there because again, my printer is like all jarbled. I printed the agenda and it's kind of, gobbledygook. So, okay, if there's no
Well,
corrections.
I say that, but no, maybe not. Hmm. Sorry.
Do you have to pull the document up and then screen share?
I just can't share anything. Wait, there we go. Never mind. Okay, we're not
Ooh.
doing that document now, but you can see the budget and you can see the. Okay, so right now, can everyone see the agenda that's up?
Yes, that's great.
Okay, so we'll just do that. And
Okay.
that's fine. You know, we're still recording our meeting
Perfect.
and
So does that view go into the recording too?
yes.
Probably does.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Great. Okay. All right. So if
Thanks.
everybody's good with the minutes, we approve them.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Next, the librarian's report, Miss Bree.
I like Miss Bree. Okay, well, I'm not gonna pull up necessarily the whole report. Everyone will have a copy of the report in your mailbox or it's in our Google Drive. The month of December, we were only open 18 days because of the way holidays fell.
Oh, right.
So while the numbers say it wasn't busy, it just felt a lot busier.
The days you were open was probably busy.
Right, it was like very compressed. It was also compressed in the amount of working and administrative days where we could do things like pay bills, order books, process things. And as much as I love the book giving trees and how it alleviates buying books weekly, we get all the books in one big flood.
Oh,
And so it's just still weeding through those, all those donations, which is great. So circulation, of course, is down in December, which isn't unusual. But our Libby stats continue to be really healthy. We had 375 checkouts just for the month of December on Libby. So I know we have some fans here. We had an after-school program running in December as well. We had our Lego Club, which was very popular, full waiting list, like all of our programs have been.
Were part of those days on break or was that all school days?
It was all school days.
Okay, so you had the bus and all that.
Yeah, yeah. We also did our puzzle swap, which was a big success. The extra puzzles will go to the senior luncheon this month. And so we'll get rid of some more. And then whatever we don't get rid of, then I'll just take to Goodwill because they have a lot of puzzles.
So you just offer those to anybody who wants to take one at senior lunch?
As many as they want.
That's
Yeah.
great.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
free
Good way to
puzzles.
do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's see, a couple of big milestones this month. Niquette's review was done, which was glowing. I did send a copy of her review to everyone. So if you didn't get a chance to read it or you didn't get it, just let me know. She does a spectacular job. And she received a spectacular review.
What was her reaction?
Oh, she was very pleased.
Good.
We did it one evening after her shift here and I got pizza. We had
Nice.
pizza and soda and talked about her
Good.
stuff.
Any real goals come out of it? I mean, you guys have covered so many bases. Did you come up with some new goals?
Yeah, a kind of a goal that I came up for us together to work on, with her knowledge of databases and the code that our, card catalog for a better word is she knows how to do the coding for
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
And so she writes really good reports. And I said, we should work on a inventory platform where we're not pulling out and checking each book, but we could scan the barcodes and then, be able to do inventory electronically.
Oh, nice.
Because it takes forever.
Mhm.
So she's gonna experiment with that. That's a real goal,
Great idea.
of hers. And then also, her workload is really increasing with the increasing programs that we have for advertising and all of that. And she's got a couple of more long-term projects that I've given her because she likes to be busy.
Good.
So she feels very busy. And I let her know that if she ever feels too busy,
Right.
to please let me know.
You can just reprioritize, push some things
Mhm.
back. Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Sounds great.
Yeah, and then, we're still doing, the other big thing was a big thing. The annual report to the state of Vermont, was due on the 31st and I got it done on the 30th. And so big thanks to Vicky, for some help with some of the financial pieces and to, MJ and then just getting it all in. So that was a big accomplishment. It was 35 pages of numbers. It's a monumental lift. But it's done. And so that's great. That takes a lot of time and it's like a lot of focused time,
So
which
is there anything that Niket could help you with in sort of gathering that data? So it's not so much work at your end?
it's because it's all over the
Mm,
place. It's circulation data, it's collection data,
Mm.
it's, finance
Mhm.
pieces. We have all the data.
Right.
And I have a pile of like papers or files I can look
Mhm.
through to get the
Mhm.
data, but there's no like one source.
Yeah.
It's
If
from
you-
so many
You know where it
sources.
all is.
If you created
Mhm.
kind of the annual spreadsheet and then just sort of populated information every month, it might be there, but she might be too busy to help you with that already.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think a lot of it is the questions change over time. So like on our programmings, for example, they asked, how many programs did you hold in each of these 4 age categories?
Mhm.
Okay, that's okay. That's been asked before and I have a system for doing that. But this year it was like, how many of those were off-site? How many were considered outreach? And I'm like, where did that question
Yeah,
come
so they
from?
keep tweaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it just takes a lot of headspace.
Mhm.
And December is usually slower. And so it is a good time to work on it, but it was, it's not something someone comes in and checks something out and then you're like, where was I? What number was I on? Did I hit
Right.
save? So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad it's done.
I'm sure.
I just feel it falls unfairly on the smaller libraries of Vermont, and there's so many of us, where some larger library would have like a staff person dedicated to
Right,
doing this
right.
Oh,
report,
okay, right.
in an office, hidden away somewhere where they could
Yeah,
just
not
bang it out.
interrupted. Right,
Mhm.
right.
Let's see, and then we continue to do inventory. We're still plugging along in the kids area. And then we'll start weeding once inventory is through. And that'll be nice.
So is inventory just to confirm that what's on the shelf should be on the shelf is on the shelf?
Yes, and then also we find a lot of stuff that was either misshelved, misplaced. It's also a chance for us to clean up any cataloging mistakes. Like that's, says it's a adult DVD, but it's a kid DVD.
Mhm.
Those
Mhm.
kind of things.
Mhm.
So I use it as an opportunity to keep a very clean catalog.
Just good housekeeping. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
It's mostly the grunt work of it is done by volunteers.
Mhm, mhm,
And then they give me like the results and then I
mhm.
can
Then you go from there.
go from there.
Mhm.
And then we'll start weeding.
And that's all computerized.
The weeding, we can
said?
run reports. Yeah. Yeah, we've
Okay. So
created
you know
reports for
which
that.
Ones
To
haven't
pull.
really been taken out in a while.
And then do you have volunteers pull them?
I have volunteers pull well, we turn them sideways
Mm-hmm,
and then so they're not actually pulled off the shelf.
mm-hmm,
And then I look at them.
yeah.
And it's
double
like,
check.
yeah, because some things, maybe, oh, number 4 in this series of 20 books didn't get checked out for some reason.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna get rid of number 4 if we
Right,
have
right.
It's a
1 through
series,
20.
yeah.
Or like a lot of our books, like the Bible, like we should have a copy of the Bible and the Quran and the Torah. Like we should just have
Right.
them. They don't
People don't,
circulate,
yeah.
Right.
but for reference or
Mhm.
something. Similar, a lot of our old Vermonti documents.
Right.
Mhm.
Um,
It'll be that time that you decide to weed something that,
oh, it always
I'm
happens.
looking for.
I got this book out 20 years ago
Yeah.
and it was my favorite. I want to read it to my grandchild and I'm like, sorry. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. I am taking a long weekend off at the end of January and Charlie is subbing. I'm going to Aruba. So I
Oh,
don't feel sad to
nice.
be taking time off then. But that's the last weekend of January.
You should be going this week
So is that kids?
with this
is it-
cold weather.
Yeah.
Is that kids vacation week? or-
No, I'm going by myself with some friends.
Oh, nice. Girls trip?
Great.
Girls trip.
Nice.
Girls trip to Aruba. So
Cool.
that's nice. And then I'll prepare for Winterfest, which is on the later agenda.
Mhm.
I do want to pull up, well, I guess I can pull up the newsletter. Yeah. A couple of things that I want to mention. I've had to change the time for the puzzle race, and I haven't advertised it that much. So this time is incorrect because I'm doing a joint program with the Historical Society that same day, later in the day.
Mhm.
When I was doing Across the Fence the other day, the next person on was a Vermont historian and who has a new book. And and
Perfect.
he was like, I could come to your library for free. And I was
Oh.
like, yes, and we chit chatted
Right.
in the green room. And so he's coming.
Breeze rubbing elbows with all the local
I
celebs.
know.
Yeah. So anyway, I got him to come and then I asked the Historical Society if they would like to partner on that because, he's a historian. So I said, why don't you guys provide the refreshments
Mhm.
and,
But it's gonna be here?
but it'll be here and they'll advertise to their network.
Who is there, or are you able to reveal?
Yeah, I don't remember his name, actually. Kevin.
Did the Historical
Okay.
Society already promote this? Seems like I saw.
Yes, they
Seems
put
like I
it,
saw
they-
something.
they put it in their newsletter, as a save the date.
Mhm.
Um, I
And that's
have-
on the 15th.
It's on the 15th, but it's at 2. So we'll do puzzles in the morning, historical stuff in the afternoon.
So
I-
puzzles are gonna be when the library's open.
Yes, which would be
Okay.
kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, and I told Niket that I would, I don't have to be there if trustees, I think Vicky had said she'd like to go,
And Helen, if
I
she's
said I was
back.
available.
and Helen if she's
Yeah, I'd like
back.
to see it. I can help, marshal
Yeah,
the chaos.
Yes, I'd like to see it. I'm not sure. I think that probably will be our travel day.
okay. Well, if Vicky's here and then Niket is here, and maybe someone
I
else,
think- I think I had planned on.
okay, Becky, might
Just
be
make
able to
sure.
make it
What time do you think you're gonna do it?
10:30.
Okay.
10:30 to noon. I think it's only
Puzzle
gonna.
race, you're calling it?
Yep, the first ever library puzzle race.
So you think that's only gonna take a couple hours?
I think it's only gonna take an
But how
hour.
fast
Really?
those people do their
Wow.
puzzles.
They're
Yeah,
fast.
Their gift cards.
well, yes, and Helen did purchase the gift cards, so I already have those in
Great.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can plan to be there.
Okay, Becky's gonna plan to be there too.
Bree?
Also, yes,
Are you going to talk about the donations as well?
yes, I am.
Okay.
Let's see, also coming up in January, I just want to highlight that we have our after-school program in January is our crafting club with Marianne. So Marianne's doing a crafting club. And Marianne, it is full. today. So we have 10 kids signed up.
Woohoo! Nice.
That's awesome.
It took one post to Front Porch Forum and Facebook and it filled up.
Sorry, I'm back to the puzzle swap. Is there refreshments and stuff for that or not?
No, because you gotta puzzle.
Gotta go,
Don't
go, go.
have time to
Yeah.
drink
Okay.
and eat donuts.
They could have coffee, I guess, if you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
fill in the puzzle.
Keep their water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
water
then
bottle.
we are also doing a program, and this is a paid program. We're paying for Amber Kennedy from Boheme Botanical Herbals to come again. She did a tea blending class, which was really popular. Now she's going to do a therapeutic herbs for topical use class, and that is also already full.
Oh, good.
So
I know, I'm disappointed. I would have signed up for that one.
Yeah, what day of the week is that?
it's a Wednesday,
Wednesday.
January 29th.
Wednesday evening?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So one post on Front Porch Forum and Facebook, and that filled up. That's
Yeah.
12 people. We can't have any more than that
Yeah,
because she doesn't have any more supplies.
Mhm.
Like,
that's a good number anyway.
and we're paying that. That's we're paying her $150 for that program,
Mhm.
which covers basically her supplies
Mhm.
and
Oh, that's what I
herbs,
was wondering,
and then
Yeah.
the people get to take
Something. home.
something home.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, I don't know if it's still on your radar or not, but I'd love to see us repeat Erin's AI class.
Oh, that was good.
If you can find a way to work that in
That was good.
with
Yeah, that was very well received and we
with
had,
lots of
it was
lots of
full.
advance notice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. And then we continue to have our makers group, our writers group. The Shakespeare group is a lot of fun. So
Funny. That's so funny.
they're loving that.
Great.
And we already had our Saturday story time this month, and it went really, really well. Kristen's really getting dialed into like the age and the timing and all of that. So that's really.
And this is the volunteer that's,
She's not a volunteer. We pay her
oh, okay.
with money from the Vermont Early Literacy
Oh, okay.
Initiative, or VLI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long is the story time run usually?
The like actual storytelling time runs about a half an hour, and then there's like craft and kind of
Mhm.
hang out, play.
Yeah, so how long are the kids and the families here typically
That's a
for that?
session, you mean, like the,
Per set,
how many
like
times?
how long are the families? They're here about an hour.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that kind of like what you do on Thursdays?
Mhm.
Pretty similar?
Pretty similar.
Good.
Pretty similar.
That's probably about the attention span kids
Yeah.
have anyway.
Yeah, the Saturday group is younger
Okay,
Mhm.
than
Really?
the Thursday.
The
Well, the
others.
Thursday group is they're like babies or in preschool
Mhm.
right now.
And then
Yeah.
Saturday's the middle,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really? That's
So have you taught her
interesting.
any of your famous, songs that you
Well,
do
she
every
does
single
her
time?
songs in Spanish every single
Oh,
time.
that's
So
right. She's
she,
the-
yeah.
Okay, I
So
forgot
she's
about
got
that.
her
Yes.
greeting song in Spanish
Yeah.
and a goodbye song in Spanish,
Mhm.
and then they do head, shoulders, knees, and toes
In Spanish.
In Spanish.
That's
Cool,
cool.
For a movement
I
song.
forgot about
Nice.
that. Yes.
Yeah, and
That's
then
great.
they read for 5 sessions. They read the same book, and then the families will get a copy of that book in Spanish. Like
Nice.
very simple.
mm-hmm,
Right now it's Donde está Spot?
mm-hmm.
Like where is Spot? And then it'll be it's something paseo. It's like I went walking.
Mhm.
And you see like a red cow,
Yeah.
a yellow dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it all Spanish or is it
No, most of the stories are in English,
Okay.
but there's always
some Spanish?
the repeated,
Yeah.
Right.
Span.
Cool.
And they're kind of cultural.
Mhm.
Like they'll make worry dolls, or they did
Mhm.
Mexican hot chocolate for the craft for December.
Neat,
So it's
Cool,
kind of
yeah.
fun.
very
Well, and the
neat.
repetitiveness, especially for little people,
Right.
helps build it into them. By the way, I needed to show, I don't think they can see it on the camera.
Yeah, I was just
my
noticing those.
No David earrings.
Oh, no, David, that's
What's
a
No David?
book. It's a book.
It's a book, and I had seen him at a craft show. I'm like, oh, that's perfect for work. Children's, to have the
Mhm.
No David earrings. Kind of looks like some of our kids that we see.
Mhm,
No, David is the perfect toddler book because the character is constantly saying no, and the audience or the reader gets to say no, don't do that. No, no, no. So it's a chance for toddlers to blow off steam and say no to something. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. If I can find my mouse here and do everything sideways. Okay. Now let's see. Oh, we have the gun lock distribution. We did receive in the mail, our gun locks. And, there were 3 of them that were different out of the 50.
Mhm.
And then we also didn't get like a display box. So I just got them this past week. And so I wrote the guy today to say like, hey, and I took a picture. What's up with these 3?
Yeah.
Is it for a different kind of gun?
Mhm.
And then also like, could we have a display box and some more
With the
information?
information, yeah.
So I'd like to hand those out in February, I think, start
Just wait
doing
till you have
that.
everything.
Just wait till I have everything so it doesn't look junky. Cause right now they're in a tub, like a plastic tub.
Yeah.
And you wanna have it as a informational display.
Right.
Rather than just a tub and grab them, you wanna be able to.
Well, yeah, I mean,
provide
I don't
some of
wanna,
the
I don't
information
want
with
to
it.
have to, like, I'm not
No.
doing a programming
No,
around
no,
it or
that's not what I
anything.
meant,
Yeah,
but a
like
self-explanatory.
a self-serve.
Yeah,
Right,
you want it to be complete enough
Program.
information wise that people can
Yeah.
do it on their own.
right,
Exactly.
that's what, yeah. that's what I was
Exactly, 'cause
getting at, so.
I am not an expert in
Yeah.
that, so I don't
Yeah.
want to,
Yeah. You don't wanna
No.
encourage any questions.
yeah.
Oh.
And then, I don't really have any updates on grants. I did contact Kevin Daigle, to send an invoice for the exterior lights, cause we had not received one.
Mhm.
2 things of note, the art that we have up right now, from Thomas Wolfe is being very well received, and I had a couple of inquiries about how much he's selling it for.
Hmm.
And so I contacted him and, he quoted me a, price of $200 for the smaller ones and $500 for the bigger ones. And that he and Janet would be willing to donate that to the library
Wow,
if anyone
Ooh, nice.
purchases them.
wow.
Wow, nice.
I have not put that out in the community yet,
Mhm.
but I wanted to. He said he would gladly accept payment and then give us a check.
Mhm.
Or we could accept the payment directly. I'd rather not accept the payment
That's what I
directly,
was
and I
thinking,
just
yeah.
wanted to make sure that that's okay with
Yeah.
everyone.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
Now, I don't think I'd tell people that
Wow.
he's gonna donate the money, because then people are gonna say, well, why do I have to pay so much for it if you're just gonna donate it back to the library? I mean, he's got his reasons for why he wants to sell it for what he thinks it's worth.
mhm.
You know, if they choose to, when they get the money, if they choose to donate it back, that's their business.
Maybe people would buy it more if they knew it was going to the library. I don't know.
Just ask him what his
Okay.
preference is, whether he wants to keep that part quiet, or whether he wants that to be part of the advertisement. So, and then how are you gonna announce that? You just gonna put a card up someplace, or?
I was gonna put it out on Front Porch Forum and Facebook and then put and amend what we have
Mhm,
here. Cause
mhm.
we have some placards up already, so I can just
That have
amend.
prices, or?
I will put a price on
Okay. Mhm.
The,
Definitely are bright.
they are bright. They're really,
Do lighten up the library,
they do. I wish
especially in the
they
winter.
stay all year round. But I did have several people ask me for questions and I
Well,
don't know
that's
if
great.
that is, more than they were thinking or less. I
Who
mean,
knows,
they're
yeah.
huge pieces of art, so.
Right.
But I will
That's good.
ask his preference and then I will say we prefer that he sells it and then could donate.
Yeah. if he
One
chooses-
check,
Yeah, transaction by transaction, if he chooses to donate it, if he changes his mind, he has that flexibility. I wouldn't put the prices in Front Porch Forum and Facebook. I would just say, the art that's on display is available for sale, and the artist has generally offered to donate proceeds back to the library, something like that.
Okay,
I just wouldn't put prices out there.
okay.
If they're interested enough, they can come to the library and find out.
Or they can send an private
Yeah, they
email,
can
a
find out.
message.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you wanna put too much information out there, but that's very generous of him. How
It
nice.
is,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, so I thought that was nice. And then Helen did ask about the fundraising end of the year appeal. So we received a total of $2,755 in donations through
Nice.
our, yeah, I mean, that's
And that's through these
including
checks?
those, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
2755 is what you have.
2755. Yeah,
That's good.
I think that's an all-time record.
Yeah, that's really good. And have all the stars been taken?
All the stars have not been taken. I did take the trees down just because they had about 5 stars left on them, and I was tired of glitter being everywhere. But we still have the online one up, and I was going to send a reminder to folks that we would like donations by January 17th. And there's still a few stars available, and just throw the link on there, but not have stars anymore in
Yeah.
here.
And where are you gonna advertise that?
Front Porch Forum and Facebook.
Okay.
And then I had a reminder in the newsletter that things needed to be
Yeah,
in
yeah.
by the
Very
17th.
good.
Okay,
And the link
great.
will have the books that are still
Yes.
open for purchasing, not the
Yes.
whole list.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what I thought, but
Yeah, when
better.
someone claims them, it's taken off like availability. As far as writing thank yous, Pat and Becky volunteered to do that. We had 20 people donate money. And then we had 18 people donate books. I mean, people donated multiple books that we were able to capture. Sometimes people don't put their name, when they claim something. So we have about 38 thank you notes to write. I have the name, amounts, and addresses all ready to go. I don't know if Pat and Becky just want to kind of split, someone take the money.
Take the
Someone
money? Sure, I'll
not
take
the
the money.
money, but write the notes to the money donors, and then some people write the notes to the book donors.
I don't mind doing the book donors if that's, if that's okay with you, Pat. Oops, you're
Oh,
on
yeah.
mute.
You're muted, Pat.
Just give a thumbs up.
Okay, so I will email you guys that portion of the little spreadsheet. So I'll email you a chart. And then I will put thank you notes and stamps in your boxes.
Okay, do you have an idea as to when that might be done?
I could do it tomorrow.
Okay,
if
it
you-
doesn't
but,
have,
I
no
mean,
pushing. I just was wondering when to stop by unless you want to just drop me a line when it's ready.
Well, we could do it, and then if there's any stragglers, we can probably handle that
Yeah.
in-house with the staff.
Right. Okay,
I will drop you a line when they're in your box.
that would be good. So probably. need-
Nice, thank you.
Okay, so that's gonna be, let me just write myself a note, stamps and thank you notes. Box. Okay. Well, thank you, Pat and Becky, for doing that.
Yes, thank you.
Also just, you don't need to write like, thank you for 3 books. But you could just thank you for your support of
Right.
the library during our, annual appeal, or our, book giving tree and annual appeal. Pat, you also don't need to write in the amount because their canceled check or whatever should be their tax deductible stuff.
If it's a big amount, you could just say, thanks for your generous donation.
They're all
Well,
generous donations.
Yeah, everyone was very generous this year.
That's good.
A special thank you to Rovers North for their
Truly.
big support this year.
Nice.
They doubled their donation.
Which
from
is already a
previous
big
years.
one, which is already
That's
the
great.
biggest one we get, I think,
Yeah.
when they doubled it. So,
Yeah, so they're our biggest support,
Nice.
which is very nice.
I guess I need to up mine.
You know what? I think everyone gives so much in
I'm
time and
kidding.
everything
Yeah.
else too.
Well, Rovers North is like the biggest going concern in Westford, the biggest business, I think, operating and going concern in Westford. So if
Yeah.
they're having a good year and they
No,
share
I
with
know.
us,
Yeah.
aren't we
Mhm.
lucky,
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been generous in a lot of things, so that's
Well, and
understandable.
Andrea is a former trustee
right.
of 22 years.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
This table came from them, this table
Yes,
chairs.
yes, it
Oh,
did.
really?
Yeah, there's a little plaque.
Mhm.
Okay, that is what I have for librarians report stuff. Does anyone have any questions?
Not me.
Anything
You're
else
good on
that you
time.
I was
know,
gonna say,
I just checked my
Helen's
watch.
not here to like get after
Oh,
us.
I'm
so
telling you,
still
I'm marking,
doing
I'm
it.
still
Still
monitoring
doing
the
it.
time.
Good job,
Good.
good job.
I'm gonna share the library, the financial stuff
Okay.
too. That
All
way
right,
everyone
and
can see it.
Vicky's up to bat.
No, I
Do you want
think
me
Bree,
to-
do you do your part first or?
Yeah, let me do my
Okay.
thing. Then I'll stop.
Sorry, jumping the
Do you have
gun
a
here.
copy for us?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. Oh,
Bree's navigating.
oh, here. Sorry, everything is sideways for
Oh.
me on my computer.
I don't know, they're gonna like this, Bree. They get to see everything on the screen.
Oh, fudge. Sorry. No, that's recorded. Good thing I said fudge. Okay, I do have a copy for you guys that are here. Yours that is at home is not annotated, but we are 52% of the way through our fiscal year. And we have spent 51.5% of our budget. So I'd say overall
Nice.
that is pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
that's great.
a couple of things that I do want to point out. I don't know how, but we've only spent about $65 in fuel. So, and I checked our fuel tank the other day because I knew it was going to be cold, and we still have 3/4 of a tank down there.
Wow.
So that's good. I'm sure that we will continue to have some fill-ups.
Yeah, it'll catch up to us, I bet.
Yep. And then in our library expenses, everything is kind of evened out with the book giving trees. We don't tend to buy books in December, so the budget has kind of caught back up, which is nice to see. We will be going over our electronics budget. We've spent the whole thing for the year. A lot of that is our big check that we just had to write to
Mhm.
Libby
Libby,
for all
that's
the
what I was
checkouts.
thinking. Yeah.
But we do have some commitments that we have to keep with the consortium, and we'll keep them.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know,
We'll
it'll
see where
balance
we
out
land.
somewhere else
And that's largely because we added Mango Languages and Biblio, right?
into our budget.
Into that, it's in
Yes,
that line.
it's in that
item,
line
right? Yeah,
item
okay.
versus the trustees paying for
Right,
them.
right.
Yep.
Right.
And then I'm saving our video budget for the Oscars. We always get the Oscar nominated films.
Gotcha.
And people
Oh,
really
I was
appreciate
wondering why
that.
it said Oscars. I'm like,
Good.
Yep.
Got it.
And then the only other thing that is we will be going over soon is the programming budget.
Mhm.
But we had kind of expected that, and the trustees had kind of planned for that with some of their funds. Like we have to pay for that herbal program for $150.
Mhm.
So we'll be going over that soon, but that's not unexpected.
Right.
And we have some offsets in, supplies or whatever if we don't
Mhm.
go through that. So
So what are you anticipating for the technology stuff? Do you think you'll have to buy some Chromebooks or computers or anything this year?
So I'm replacing, and we have it already, I'm replacing the librarian laptop because
Mhm.
this laptop won't go to Windows 11.
Okay.
And Windows 10 is sunsetting
Yeah.
in October.
Mhm.
So over the Christmas break, I took home the new laptop, which I had purchased with ARPA funds, the previous fiscal, when we had all those ARPA funds.
Yeah.
And updated it, but I am gonna have to buy some software to
Okay.
go on that. So that's probably a couple $100 more.
But it's not a whole buying the equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I do think, if we get to May and we still have money in our technology budget, I might update a couple of our Chromebooks. They're getting a little
Mhm.
junky. I mean, they're Chromebooks. They are what they are. So
Yeah.
they're meant to be.
I would just say,
Use
look
card.
at the total picture, because if
Yep.
that money, if you have money you don't have to spend there, that it could offset the overages other places,
Mhm.
Maybe some of that waits, but, yep, okay.
Yeah, but overall, I think it's looking good. The staffing piece is always a little, iffy. But the subs, as Nikat takes off time, she doesn't get paid for her time off, so it kind of balances out. We'll see. Okay, and that's what I have on that portion. So
I have a question. though.
yes,
When
yes.
when you said that as far as the substitutes, this is that we're at 91.1% of the substitute budget?
Of the substitute budget, but we don't budget for Niquette's sub hours and she's been
Okay.
taking a lot of time off. So when she takes time off, she doesn't get paid for it.
Okay, so that's offset.
Offset by
her.
the line above, yeah, by
Okay,
her.
gotcha. Yeah,
So we're 52% of the way through the year and we're on Bree, we're at 50% of her budgeted amount. So that's almost exactly right.
Mhm.
Okay,
But then Niket is 10% under her budgeted time. So, you know, but that's being spent in substitutes. So substitutes is always gonna look like a lot more than budgeted, but the
Oh, okay.
offset between the two, we're still better off because we pay the subs less.
Mhm.
So,
oh, right,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So if you look at the dollars, it's like, you know, the dollars are small, the percentages are big.
right. That is
Okay,
true.
good. Yep,
Mhm.
that
Yep, I
makes
follow.
sense.
Okay, and then now we can go to Vicky's portion.
Okay. Da, 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 da.
I don't need a one. I printed.
But you
but
have
I-
color. I have color.
Oh, well,
Oh, nice.
Da, da, da.
they have color at home too.
Did
Yes,
I?
we can see.
Oh, okay, that's what I have. Yeah, you can actually see it since we've got
We're fancy.
we're high tech tonight. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through this, from top to bottom so I don't skip anything. So I've been keeping this Sean Dwyer note out here, but, since I'm gonna be making my way off the board soon, I would love for somebody to volunteer to be his point of contact and then I will let him know. And I'll tell you, you know, he and I are not close. It's like pulling, you know, pulling hairs to get him to respond to me. So Bree, I don't know if you're willing to do that. You seem to have a better relationship with him.
He is my across the street neighbor.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Well, his mom is, and he's
So
there
I
half
don't
the time.
think this has to be a trustee if you're willing to pick that up, because I think you're more in touch with him than anybody anyway.
I'm fine to do that.
Okay.
If you will just maybe make the contact and say
Yep.
that you're stepping, off the
Yep.
board, contact me for all
Yep.
further things.
Yeah, we'll do.
If we have a set time where he needs to be, he can get a key from me at any point.
Yeah.
He's
Or
a,
from the town
or
office.
from the town office. He's a known worker. I don't think
Right.
we need to have someone here the whole time he's working.
Right, but if there's a
Yeah.
reason for somebody to need to be here, people can help you with that. People
Yes,
can help cover
that would be
I
great.
think, sure, for sure. Okay.
Happy to do that.
Okay, thank you. Sounds good. And then, the 4th of July book sale stuff I kind of updated. Helen, we have the wording and Helen plans to post that on or about the 20th because Bree, you'd asked us to wait till after the book giving trees close down. So,
Yeah,
20th-ish, Helen, is what we had planned for that.
I'd say 21st since the 20th is a holiday and people
Oh,
might
right,
not be
right.
checking their
Yep.
email or whatever.
Yeah, I wait,
Or
I
not
put the
even.
Monday date in there, but I forgot about the holiday. Good point. And Helen, you're gonna be away anyway, so whenever you feel like it that week, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shopping for the two tents. I did make a trip to Home Depot and they do, even this time of year, have some stuff in stock. I couldn't really tell how it works because they're all boxed up, but this is an option. This is not the least expensive option. This is a pop-up. It says it's commercial grade, so I think it's more hefty. It's 199. It's not, 128 like the cheaper model. It's in kind of a carry case that has wheels on it, so
Mhm.
you don't have to lift it. It does have some walls that I believe attach with Velcro, though nobody gives me that detail in the description. So again, my thought was get two, because that way, if we want to attach our 20-foot long sections with the windows that we already have, wouldn't that be pretty? But maybe we only need one. I don't know. You guys tell me. And then I would suggest we get the weight pack with it as well, which is another $45. So this is one option. If this is too rich for our blood and this is too much money, I can keep looking. But these are available and easy, and I'd be happy to do that transaction before I disappear, so you guys don't have to worry about it. I think we'd be smart to get, something hefty that's
Commercial grade,
last.
Yeah,
it's gonna last a little better than what we had. So, and these are all supposed to be easy pop-up, easy setup.
I
You know,
love when they say
things.
that. Yeah.
Well,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I think it would be good to get two, but maybe like open one
Mhm.
and try it out.
right.
And then
Well,
if
we can
it's,
still return it if we don't, if we're not
Yeah,
thrilled. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
good idea.
And I would definitely say get the commercial, the sturdier
Mhm.
one, because I'm on my
Okay.
third tent and
Yeah.
it makes a difference. And that easy pop-up is fairly easy, but you definitely want to have the weights.
So do you guys like that idea? Should we get 2 and 2 sets of weights, and then we'll, someday when nobody's here, we'll set it up in here and see how it goes and
Mhm.
see what you think, Bree, and, we can always return one set.
We can have a slumber party in the library.
Yeah, I'm just envisioning setting up our little pop-up here in the middle.
that's fine with me. Will that be coming out of the trustees?
Yep,
I think it would
Funds.
be
Yep.
Trustees.
yeah, we got a ton of money, guys. And we need to replace the tents that the whole idea here is to replace what we lost
Mhm.
in the windstorm. And-
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
We are replacing the 2 big tents. Or there were 2 big tents and then there was another tent that was like broken. So, but we're not getting 3, we're just
No,
getting 2.
we're just gonna replace everything that we had
Okay,
that doesn't work anymore with 2 pop-ups, so we have
Okay.
flexibility.
okay. And,
2
I-
10x10s.
and I know that we'll talk about like maybe book sale, but that'll be enough protection for whatever we need.
Well, I think if we still do the book sale, what we talked about is doing it at like Red Brick
Okay,
inside, not trying to do it outside anymore. So the
Okay.
pop-ups, if we do a really big, basket
I was gonna
raffle
say for the
for
baskets
4th of
or
July, we could
two.
set up 2 together and have plenty of space,
Or the
even if it
Halloween.
rains. You're probably
Or the
only ever gonna
Halloween
use one at a
thing.
time.
right, or none, because
Yeah.
it's just a pain to set up sometimes.
Right,
but-
right. But if you need one, you would
Yeah, if
probably
we
only
do
set up
farmer's
one.
market.
But if
or
we do something big, or if you do a community dinner or something and you want to set up both, we can we would have that flexibility.
Okay,
But yeah, the idea is not that this would be for an outdoor book sale
got it.
application.
Okay,
Okay, everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll get 2 sets, and I like the idea of opening it up, see what we have, and,
yeah.
when we can still return it if we need to. Okay,
Will you need someone to sign off on your invoice? Will you just?
yeah,
Helen can do
well,
that.
Helen's gonna be away, but I'll find,
Pat has
whoever's
signed
around.
up on
Pat
invoices
has done it
too.
before. Mhm.
Mhm.
I can just send an email and you can okay it via email and they'll do it based on that.
Okay, well,
So-
I mean, I was gonna say I could do it too, but.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat, are you okay with that if I engage you for that when the time comes?
I don't think she has.
She's
You're-
not
you're
muted. You
muted.
can thumbs up, Pat, if it's okay with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. And then I just had this note out here, a plan for when trustees plus any added volunteers should start working on the gift basket silent auction items. So, just maybe think about what month, Helen, do you want us to make sure we start getting that on the agenda so that it doesn't get away from us?
Yeah. All right.
And that might be something in the email that you send out, or the Front Porch Forum post on the 21st. You might mention that there's an option for helping with the basket raffle too, or not.
That wording's all said. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I think we left with the impression, everybody with the impression that the trustees were gonna support the basket raffle.
Got it.
And we're trying to recruit volunteers for anything more that we would do. Okay, so those are those things. Now the money stuff. So I added this note to the 11:30 numbers, which I didn't have out there in last month's agenda because I didn't earn last month's report because I didn't really understand it. I spent some time at the town office this morning with Greg and Holly to try to understand what the auditor's comment was about the process that affected our financials and how it was going to happen going forward. So we had a good conversation. But basically, as of November 30th, at that point in time, they had attempted to make some correcting entries to do what they thought the auditors were asking them to do. Those entries did not yield the result that I expected or that Holly or Greg understand. So we're sitting with some numbers that nobody understands right now. And they showed me what they have and I said, I don't understand it either. You guys need to figure it out. So that's on them. But we did discuss the process and what it should be and settled on what we believe the balances should be. So just in a nutshell, because I don't want to go too deep into this. But basically what we had done is we had two grants from last year that still had money to be spent at the time that the fiscal year end happened. So as of June 30, we had 2 grants, we'd gotten the money, we hadn't spent any of it, or we hadn't spent all of it. So that money, needed to be available for us to spend this year. We initially all agreed to them putting that money into the revenue bucket in the FY 25. So it looks like it's right there. You've got the revenue account, you spend expense, it all nets out, we're fine. Well, when you're on cash basis accounting, the accountants didn't like the idea that we were characterizing 2024 revenue as also 2025 revenue. So they said that needs to be carried over. Okay, fine, that's a new approach, understand. But when the town attempted to do those entries, they mixed it in with the fund balance. So, our fund balance, our fund carryover balance is taxpayer money. That's town appropriated money. And it goes right up my back when they put other money in there. So I gave them the whole speech today about, our prime directive is to keep the 3 sources of money separate. We've got town appropriated, we've got trustee fundraise and donations, and we've got grant money, and don't ever mix the 3, including, like, for convenience, don't like throw money into the trustees fund, just grant money into the trustees fund just because it's easy, because then that messes things up too. So anyway, so everybody's agreed, we all have that. These are the numbers I told them I expect to see. They're working to arrive at that. We'll see where they wind up. So the library general fund balance right now, according to the town, is 14,000 some odd. If it was 16,000 some odd, I would understand that, because that would be the blend of the grant and the library general fund, but it isn't, it's 14 something, so I can't explain their number. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. And they showed me the entries and I'm like, I can't explain it, and you don't want me to take the time to try to figure it out right now. So that's on them. But the real $14,000 number is a good number. Our trustees fund balance has consistently been, the carryover has consistently been 11.5, almost 11.6. Now with all of the great donation money we've been collecting, we are net for the year of 2463 to the good, everything we've made versus everything we've spent. Is 2463. So together that's $14,000 available to us. So
Wow.
that's why, I don't feel bad about putting some of that money to work.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that clear as mud? That, okay,
Mhm.
all right. Okay, so trustee fund expenditures approved but not yet paid. I beefed this section up a little bit since, I'm planning on transitioning to someone new. Gift card prizes for puzzle competition. I think now those have all been paid. Was it only Helen doing those, or was Marianne getting some too?
Marianne was gonna get the Winterfest.
Okay, all right, all right.
And I don't know if that's happened yet, Marianne.
One from Staples and one from Steeple Market, you said.
Steeple Market and J&L Hardware, or was it? Got
Yeah,
one
yeah.
from,
Steeples
Okay.
and J&L. Steeples and J&L, yes. I'm still planning on doing that.
Okay, I will change this from puzzle competition to Winterfest.
is that,
Okay,
and were those 50 each, or was that 25? I don't remember what we settled on.
I thought it was 25.
20, was it 25?
I thought it was
25 for the 25? Okay,
25 each?
each.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it in the minutes? Is it in the minutes we just approved? Because I thought it was 1525. I would rather it was 1525, but I don't care, whatever we decided.
It just says 2 raffle prizes will be awarded.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
do we
25
want
is
to
fine.
do a 50 and a 25?
I would. Our first prize is usually bigger.
Is that for the Winterfest?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Which-
maybe
which-
a 50 from Steeple,
Yeah,
Okay.
just because if it's like a kid that wins it, they get pizza or candy or.
Yeah. The kid
$50 worth
the
of
kid can
candy.
have more, a kid can have more fun at Steeple than JNL probably.
I don't know.
Hard to tell. Depends on the kid.
Yeah,
Well, and that way you know what you can advertise in your stuff.
okay,
Free.
yes.
Okay, good. 50 and 25.
And it was the puzzles that was 25.
25 to Phoenix, yes, which Helen purchased.
And that
already.
was 4 at 25.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, okay. The expense of the building power wash and exterior paint touch-up, we've already committed to that. When those bills come in, that's coming from trustees fund also. And then I just made the note here, our commitment based on the budget reductions we put in there, up to $500 program expense for this current fiscal year after we've spent the first 1,000. And then up to $250 of supplies expense in this fiscal year after the budget of 1,000 has been spent. So those were our commitments to, keep Bree at proper spending levels, even though thirds of it's coming from the town and the rest is coming from us. Okay, makes sense. Okay, the last note I think is exactly the same as last year. I did talk to Holly and, she's not forgotten and she continues to remind the select board that we're expecting an executive section conversation with them about pay rates. They are probably not keen on that idea. They have not totally finalized what they plan for the town staff yet, though I did see on tomorrow night's agenda, they're gonna talk about preliminary approvals and today they were reviewing the first draft print of the annual report, so the annual meeting book, so they don't have much time. So I don't know when or where that would happen, but she did share with me kind of the general area of their thinking, and that's pretty consistent with what we're doing. So, nothing's finalized yet, and we're not in executive session to talk about specifics, but I think we're fairly close in sync, so probably not as big a deal as it might have been in past years. So that's all I got.
I'm just curious, whether they're able to commit to the annual report on pay raises if it's not, it's not finalized. So how can they put it in the annual report?
Yeah, no, they have to decide. They have to be close
They
to
have to.
deciding, so.
Yeah, okay.
Whether they engage us or not, or whether they
Right, I
engage
was
us
gonna say,
they can engage us after the fact, because part of the point is we know what they're doing in general, they know what we're doing in general. If somebody comes at us with an accusation, we can kind of defend and support, and they can do the same. But people compare notes, somebody feels like they didn't get treated
Right.
fairly, we want to be prepared with the right thing to say. So anyway, or we want to be able to say, we work together on this. It's all
Right.
been decided, for the right reasons. So, but yeah, they're getting close to wrapping up because they have to be to hit the deadline.
Yep.
So. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions beyond that? Doke. Thank you,
Vicki.
everyone.
Thanks. Okay, I believe we're on to old business.
Yep.
And I can't read what the first thing says because it was blurred on my paper
Sorry,
here.
let me get it up
the
again.
July 4th raffle update.
It's
book
July
sale
4th.
Alternative.
Okay.
Let me get back to the agenda.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's
okay. Oh yeah. So we did talk about that. So I'll get that message out in January 9th, about 2021st.
Oh, so that's what, okay, that posting will be
Yeah.
about that.
And then the appreciation event for the local youth. I was looking back on my notes, and I guess I've just reached out locally to people that I know that work with young folks that have volunteered. And like I said, I have it about 2025. I'm thinking maybe March would probably be the best time, right? When is the spring break, Bree?
Sports activities?
There's a February vacation and an April vacation. So March is a great time because there's, it's like a slog between those two.
Yeah,
it's the longest feeling.
Okay. So I will get something kind of draft.
Between sporting events too, is March kind of like?
March is like volleyball, I think, or something. Yeah. I think basketball's over by then.
That's what I was wondering. And then spring sports haven't started or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's always something going on, but I think
we'll
that's
tentatively
good.
say March, and I'll work on getting like kind of the list of kids that would potentially be invited
Mm-hmm. Good.
All right, and then on to new business. Bree had sent a message right before we started about potentially with with three of us a little bit out of not 100% of potentially moving the strategic planning event this weekend. We could maybe do it the Saturday after our next meeting because I will definitely be back by then.
Well, we haven't talked yet about when my transition's gonna happen, so, I mean, that's fine. You might have the new person, not me, or unless you wanna invite us both, but that's up to you
Yeah,
guys.
well, that's what I was thinking. It'd be nice to have both of you, right? Wouldn't that be kind of a good maybe baton handing?
Yeah, and that's fine. So now you're talking about, but that Saturday is the 15th that we're busy with everything else.
Oh, that's our puzzle and
No, it'd be the
Um,
following Saturday. I think like the 20. I thought I looked and it was like the.
Well, our meeting is the 12th. Our meeting's supposed to be the
Mhm.
12th unless that moves, so. I mean, you can do
Okay.
it the following Saturday, it's just,
or we could do it the Saturday before the 12th.
she's not back.
Oh, when are you
Yeah,
getting
I won't-
back?
I'll probably be getting back about the 17th.
Okay.
Well, you're not gonna be back the 15th anyway, so she's saying the 20-something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 22nd.
I may not be here, but that's kind of okay in the sense that the trustees are spearheading the long range planning. But
I think you help us with structure, though.
What about
Yeah.
the 1st of March? That's during school
The school during
vacation, but I
vacation
don't
as
know if
well.
anybody has. if
That's
that-
Maisie's 14th birthday.
Whether
but-
that affects, whether that affects us, you would be the one that has.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
we could, we could we could do it this weekend. I mean, Pat and Marianne, would you feel up to making it to the library this weekend?
I think it's just been too hectic a week.
Okay.
I would appreciate the time off, if you will.
Okay. All right.
Let's do the 22nd, I'm okay with that.
the
The 22nd, I'm okay with that, but I don't know.
February
if others-
22nd?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, what's
But
the,
Bree, are you out of
we
town?
might not have.
Oh, yeah, right,
I-
Bree's not around.
well, again, you guys can think, I mean, we're not going to be writing it in the 2 hours, if you want to think of priorities.
Oh, yeah, we
or
could
think-
take a crack at it and then,
I can do this Saturday, but unless you want everybody there.
yeah, why don't we wait?
Okay.
I'm a little worried about this thing, that I've got too, because I know, well, I don't want to go into too much detail on it, but anyway,
Yeah.
why don't we try and do the February 22nd?
22nd, okay.
And if anything, if I don't know what my plans are going to be then, but I can also meet ahead of time. We don't have to all, I guess it's good for all of us to do an initial meeting, and talk and stuff, but
Yeah.
as far as like a work session, it doesn't have to be everyone.
Right.
So Helen, for our meeting on the 12th, do you plan to join via Zoom, or are you not gonna be available for that at all?
I can try and join by Zoom. I mean, by Zoom.
But you-
I will just have my iPad. I won't have a laptop, but I'll just have my iPad with me, but I can try and sign on and, participate that way.
But if maybe at that meeting, Bree can kind of kick us off or, give us some initial thoughts, give us her thoughts and, it'll be fresh because that's within 10 days of when we're going to try to do this. And,
Yeah, that would work.
okay, so now the 22nd, 2 to 4, is that what we're
Mhm.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Can I just check our calendar real quick?
I'm gonna change mine too, just to.
Yeah, there's nothing scheduled that.
It actually works better for me because I have to plan a baby shower.
Ooh. Okay, so we're postponing, so I will take the agenda down off our website too. Okay. The
Okay.
Winterfest to-do list, Mary Ann's gonna buy the gift cards. We talked about that. Vicky handed off to me the passport stuff. Which I will take on reformatting and printing that, getting the stamps, putting out the little boxes where they need to be.
Winterfest is what? Tell me again, 11:30 to 4, what?
Yeah,
date is that?
11:30 to 4.
Okay.
And, excuse me, we had talked about the trustees, like manning the table in here where people pick up passports or redeem the passports.
Mhm.
We don't need both people, but if you guys want to do 2 shifts,
I can do 11:30 to 1.
And you probably don't need to be here till 12, because nobody's gonna have a passport done to turn in by 12, so.
right,
12 to 1, it probably works. I would like the last hour. I would like 3 to 4, if that's okay with people. They
I
still
can
haven't
do
published,
whenever,
they
so-
still haven't published when the chili cook-off's gonna be, but it's usually on the early side and done by 2 or so.
gotta defend your crown.
No, but I'm gonna go participate and take a victory lap, so, I'm not cooking this year,
Oh,
not competing this year.
so Mary Ann, you want to do 12 to 1?
Okay,
And Vicky will get 3 to 4?
I can do 1 to 2.
So say I'm available if you,
Okay,
Need it
Pat's gonna
as
do
a
1
space.
to 2, and then, either Helen or Becky. Becky says she's
Helen's
available.
not here.
Oh, Helen's not here. So Becky, you're 2 to 3.
okay,
Thank you, everybody,
And
for
you'll tell
me
accommodating
to-
me.
to do.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Mary Ann, can we get that in the minutes? I wrote it here, but did you get everyone's time?
I did.
You did,
Me,
okay.
me, Pat,
Thanks,
Becky,
Mary Ann.
Vicky. Yep,
Yeah, Mary Ann is 12 to 1, Pat's 1 to 2, Becky 2 to 3, and Vicky 3 to 4.
That's right.
Thanks,
Yep.
everybody. I owe y'all.
No, you don't.
Just bring back some warm
Are you
weather.
traveling? Fourth
Okay,
of
I'll bring
July
back
this
some
year?
warm weather.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Still up here, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
and if I have any trouble with the passports, I will just conference with Vicky. How many did you print last year?
I think I print about 50 pages.
So that's 2
Because you
each.
distribute it around, because we
Yeah.
put a couple in each of the boxes that were at various places
Yep.
with a lot at, here and
Somewhere else.
wherever else you think lots of people will show up.
Okay,
So yeah, if you print 50, if you print 50 pages, that's 100, that's 200. Well, it's 100.
it's 100.
It's 100.
Yeah, because there's 2 per page.
Yeah.
Okay. I will,
And I probably printed more than that last time, but I think that pack is probably more than 50. I would just print what you have. Here, hand me
Okay.
the pack, I'll just check it. I just grabbed what looked like 50 to me.
and I have some too.
Okay.
It might be a different color, but. Now, I think to talk about the new trustee selection and date implementation, and then I did put in a request from our cleaner. I think we can end our recording because these are executive session items. Does that sound okay with everyone for ending our
I don't
online
think the
recording?
custodian fee is executive session.
Well, it's about how much they get paid.
Mhm.
It's just an expense. It's just an expense to us.
It is, but I feel like
I think it would be. but
having out someone's pay rate
Yeah.
out there.
Okay.
I don't know.
I would think it would be executive.
Are we okay with stopping the recording, talking about our new trustee and the custodian pay rate?
Yes,
Okay. So I'm gonna say that this is the end of the regular meeting. And we will not be coming back onto the recording after executive session.
Thank you.
Let me figure out how to stop the recording.
Unplug it.
It's not an unplug it. Let's see. Are you sure you want to stop recording? Yes. Why won't it let me do it?
You play elevator music for a while.
I think you have 60 or 70 here. I lost count in the middle.